All right. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? We made it to season 4, July. We're here halfway through the year. Woo! I can't believe it. All right. It's Monday, and we have a lot to talk about. I'm excited for tonight's guest. We are here to talk about mental health, disability, and trauma. Woohoo! Look at everybody that's already in the chat. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. So, aw, that's nice. Everyone, come on in. Gather around. Let me know. How am I listening? How am I sounding, I guess is what I should say. Last week I was gone. It was 4th of July here in the US. And it was fun. I didn't do too much. Animals and fireworks and noise and stuff like that. So we tried to stay inside and safe. But all right. Thank you so much, everyone. Whew. I'm here. I kick off another week. So excited. I always want to put out the little trigger warning because we sometimes discuss things that can be adult, mature nature. But these are our experiences and we want to share them so we can benefit others. And you never know what it can do, the impact it can make. But again, I'm your host, Visual Descriptor. I'm a female Latina brunette with silver streaks, olive brown skin, brown eyes. I'm wearing a smile today with red lipstick and a white shirt. Metallica, just for you, Russ. Positive affirmations background, and we're just hanging out. It's Monday. I'm going to talk about some mayhem, which I really love. If you're welcome and you're new to my channel, hi, thank you for hanging out. This is streaming on Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, of course. If you're interested in talk about live streaming, you're not only going to have me as an option, but you have Russ. And we're going to talk to our guest today. I can't wait to have Russ and talk about production and live streaming and all the mayhem that goes with technology oftentimes. So welcome. Thank you to Restream for powering this live tonight. Always enjoy using them as my streaming service provider. And there's a code. I usually leave a code in the description. Sometimes. I'm not sure. So thank you again. So we're here. We made it to season 4. Like I said, I can't believe how fast time goes by. It's incredible. It's always exciting to have these shows. I've waited way too long to have this guest. And wow, everybody's like here and piling in. It's just so exciting. So I need to get our guest out. Let me get to that introduction. Okay, let's get our guest introduced here. I don't want to make him wait, and he can entertain us and hang out with us and say hello to the chat. So tonight we have a very dedicated creator. He's owner and founder of the Pirate Syndicate. And next, which I want to know more about, he's a longtime professional and expert in broadcasting. He's been live streaming for a long time. He strategizes, he produces shows, he helps people create video marketing plans. I know he loves music, and he used to be a drummer somewhere in this lifetime, and we're going to talk a little bit about all the lives he's had. I'm sure this cat has lots of lives. We're going to talk about how compassionate of a caregiver he is to his mother, something that I absolutely admire about him. He's such a loving sibling. I know his sister adores him. And we're going to talk about him being a father, and we're going to talk about the mayhem that he's been through. And he continues to build a business. He continues to build his brand and lead his pirate community. Where would we be without him? Russ streams 5 days a week, and it's at 7 o'clock Mountain Time. And he believes that kindness is cool and smiles are free. And I think that's great. It's one of those things that I just absolutely adored about his message and in his show. And he talks about sharing interesting people, doing interesting things. And he's always out there. He's always available. Let's bring out Russ. Russ, where are you?
I'm right here.
Welcome. Look at everyone's here. This is
we got the whole party crew.
Let me just say hi. Welcome, Russ. I've waited too long, like I said. Ben, hi, Mackenzie. Medina, I think that's how you say your name. Hi, thank you. Russ, you're a legend. You've been around for a long time doing this live streaming, and I'm new. And when I first saw you back, and Gabe's in the chat. What's up?
What's up, Gabe? What's up, Gabe? For Saturday night.
Yes. Mackenzie, and
Mackenzie's
Tim,
here.
like
Tim,
people that do
right
that
on.
hard work. So this is some hard work, but I admire you. You've had a full life.
I have had a very interesting adventure.
And I'm just so happy
It
that
ain't over. It ain't over.
Yes, it ain't over. No. So we're going to talk about, the young Russ. I want to know about the young Russ and who the young Russ was. I can't wait to hear about that guy. I want to hear some of your mayhem. I mean, this show wouldn't be the show if you wouldn't share some of the struggles that you've been through, some of these challenges in your life. And I also want to talk about all these wonderful things that you do. Caregiving is part of your life that, I just admire, like I said, so much. And that's a full-time job. And you're just one to respect.
Oh, thank you, DJ. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate the fact that you're here sharing other people's stories because, everybody has a gift. And I always say this, and maybe somebody gets tired of hearing it, but we all have a gift, we all have a message, we all have a story, and we all have a journey to fulfill in our lives. And a lot of people struggle with what is my purpose? What is my passion? What do I need to do next? And it's really about enjoying the moment and finding out what you can do to add value to the rest of the world. It's much easier to get by and through your day, I believe, if we can actually see how we can help each other, how we can help others around us, and actually, enjoy the moments, the simple times, the little things in life, and not get so caught up in I got to chase and run and hustle and grind and do all these things here, because been there, done that, bought the shirt, I bought into the whole scheme, and sometimes the dreams become the nightmares, and we don't have a way out. We haven't figured a way out of the lifestyle that we've created for ourselves. And so I just encourage people to think about what they really need, what they really want, and how they journey through their lifestyle.
Yeah. You're so spot on. Early on in my journey here, and you don't really know what you're doing, and then you realize, like, wow, and then there's a lot of maintenance and a lot of upkeep and a lot of go, and it's nice to enjoy those peaceful moments. So, for 4th of July, did you do anything peaceful?
I was probably right here most of the time. Actually, I connected with friends. I'm working on a couple of projects with some friends, and actually went out with lunch. I did some fun stuff, relaxing stuff.
Okay.
However, this is my happy spot. When I'm right here, I'm creating stuff. I helping other people, adding value. The Pirate Syndicate. I'm getting ready to release a mini course, and I'm putting that together, and I'm still producing shows for other clients. I took the summer off, so I'm not waking up at 7 a.m. every morning right now. However, I
love that.
I'm getting ready to swap out a few ideas and come back online and share a few things. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I think that goes along with what you just said even a few minutes ago. But refreshing, taking that time off. It's summer. I've been slow. I haven't been able to keep up. I got sick, and after that, it's fatigue and exhaustion, and it's just hard to kind of get back up, get your energy, get motivated, start grinding, and that lifestyle, right? Like, then you realize, wait a minute. So I kind of like the slow life. Slow life is okay too, right? Like the nice, easy. But it's fun to have new projects. So mixing it up at the same time. So you don't want to get stale. You don't want to get stagnant. So it's fun. New projects.
Well, I think we all need a creative outlet. And, some people say, well, I'm not creative. Well, to a certain extent, you may not be creative like other people around you, but you still have your own creativity. There's a lot of creativity that gets Nick Dorsey in the house. Hey there. What's going on, Nick? Sushi. That's what needs to go on.
Oh, okay.
The reality is we all have something that we can contribute and help and support others with. You know, whether you're a parent helping your children, or you're a spouse or a partner helping the people around you, you're at work, you're learning some skills. You know, you need to think about your skills and your talents in a different way, because we can all create value. And anybody that has anything going on, if they're breathing, they can create value. So
you really encourage that. I know that for a fact. And you see it in almost everyone. Like, you really are so good at one and intuitive about that, just really connecting with people and encouraging them to pursue those, gifts that they naturally have. And I love when I meet people like that, because, we're similar in that sense. It's really about encouraging others and not letting the mayhem hold you down or hold you back. Or, I mean, it can and it does, and that's okay. But you don't want to just completely let go. You don't want to completely lose yourself in it. And so that's unfortunate, when we get to those darker times, those harder times, but we want to continue to help others and push each other to explore their creativity, like you said, explore their gifts, their skills, things they might not have thought of or seen themselves being good at. Or when you can see something like that in someone and bring it to their attention, and you're like, oh, I never thought about that for myself. So, and you did that you do that a lot. I see that in your show when you were doing your show in the morning. So, but kudos to you taking the summer off.
Well, and I think, I've lost myself on occasion, and, you're pouring yourself out to do other things. And sometimes you have to lose yourself in order to discover what you really thrive in and who you really want to be and how you want to show up. How do I want to feel? How do I want to spend my day every day? A lot of us get in this groove or this rut of life where we're doing the things that we're, supposed to do. And reality is nobody said that we had to do that. It just seems like something we thought we needed to do in order to accomplish our goals and get to the next level. It's like, well, sit back and think about it. Is that real? Is that accurate? Is that necessary? Do I need to live exactly the way people think I should live as normal? What is normal? I don't know. Any of that stuff could change at a moment's notice. Yeah. And I know that you and I have had this conversation before. It's like, okay, transformation happens multiple times in our life, and we don't have to be afraid of change or, going in a new direction or changing what we're doing every day. I did hundreds of episodes of the Pirate broadcast every morning. And even when I broke my hip, I still did my show. And, chaos and craziness takes hold. And then you have to think about, okay, well, I'm just going to take a pause for a little bit and, hit reset and do something else for a minute.
Good. Yes. And that's what keeps you going. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tweaking along the way. That's all right. Okay. I like the slow life. Thank you, Ben. Sloth is my spirit animal. That is so funny. Gabe, of course, always admires you so much and says that there's no me without this guy and his kindness and support.
Oh, Gabe, you're too much. Thank you so much. Really, all the gratitude in the world, buddy.
That is so sweet. Oh, Mackenzie. Okay. Mackenzie's asking, what is that next level, right? I mean, we're always searching for that. We're always wondering and trying to put ourselves out there to get to that next level. And that can be so exhausting. And it's finding that balance and figuring out our flow and our rhythm, I think, so we don't overwhelm ourselves or outdo ourselves. And it's hard when there's so many things coming at you.
Yeah. It's interesting talking about the next level and mayhem, and you mentioned in the intro about you wanted to find out about next step next.
Yeah, next up next.
And so in 2002, talk about mayhem. I ended I was invited to end a 15-year career and an 18-year marriage, same week. So everything, my whole life blew up. So I created this company called Next Step Next because I wanted to say, well, what's next? This intent of next steps. What are we going to do next? What are we going to do? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be? How do I need to help in order to recover from the identity I had as being an employee in this organization I loved? And, I loved the organization. I loved what I was doing. And at the same time, I was slowly exhausting myself by just continuing to be in the hustle and grind mentality. And so I ended up taking and doing several projects with some of the other people that found the corporate orphanage, and mergers and acquisitions. It had nothing to do with me, but I was still feeling the change of like, who am I now? What do I do now? Where am I going to go? Who am I going to help? And so I took a year off. I took a sabbatical. I traveled around the country. I did, my first road warrior work, and did some consulting and work on the road, and just took some time off and decided to figure out what's next. What the hell am I going to do now?
Oh, what's next? Yeah.
Next step next. So,
that's a good spot. I mean, a lot of people find themselves in these what do I do next? Where do I go next? And you don't realize you're there, but you're feeling disorientated, right? There's a sense of disorientation in your life, and you just can't quite figure it out. But you're asking yourself all these questions, and you're just like, and you're trying to make answers of yourself that you just can't quite like put pieces of together yet, because you don't have a sense of the future. And you feel a little aimless, and sometimes that hurts because you want to feel like you're in control, and I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know exactly how to do it. And that's so not real all the time. That's not part of the process. That's not oftentimes the process. There is nothing that is concrete and that structured, as much as you try to create structure and have these systems and protections and comforts of the routine. And then something just comes and completely. So it could be anything, right? It could be something like losing a job, or a relationship, or living conditions, or medical, or just all these things that life, that just really heavy things that can just take, it makes you start asking, oh gosh, what's next? What do I do next? Where do I go from here? So.
Well, and the idea that we have this thing, this idea of a guarantee. We're not guaranteed. We're not promised anything. Your life can change in an instant, and my life has changed multiple times in a fraction of a second. And the reality is that we have to decide, okay, am I going to sit here in a puddle of my poor me and become a victim, or am I going to say, what do I have control over, and what can I change to improve my circumstance right now? And and that's different depending on if you're homeless, or you're you have a company and you're running an organization. Things change, circumstance, the market,
absolutely.
Finances. We all have to decide, what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward? And, mental illness plays into this, because a lot of times, and I've battled depression in my past, and I have, family members that have suffered from that, and, my son's suicide and things like that. And the reality is that every day can be a choice. Every day has to become a choice and an outcome. And we just have to decide, how am I going to spend my day? How am I going to spend my time? Am I going to be not maybe full of joy, but happy? Am I going to be content? Am I going to share some joy with somebody else? Am I going to, try to be happy today? or am I going to just sit, crawl back in bed and feel sorry for myself?
Yeah. And that's so easy to do, right? So that's why it's important to say,
Yeah.
Have these conversations. For me personally, really understand that there's people out there that have had these experiences, and you shouldn't feel alone, and that you can reach out. There's other individuals that could be going through the same thing and don't want to share, because these things are difficult. These are not things that we openly talk about, or we have just conversations in the day to day. But it's nice, and I appreciate you just kind of sharing your insight on what you've done and what's worked, and how you can continue to get through life and keep moving through these dark, difficult times, our moments of mayhem, months of mayhem, those just everything that kind of comes at us. Let's see. I'm going to look at the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Gabe says, tell us about your major injury and how you also came through that as well. And then Ben, real quick, says, Russ, I definitely identify with the exhaustion of corporate America and corporate politics.
Yeah.
So grab the reins.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah.
Right.
Grab the reins. Yeah. I've been thrown off horses too, speaking of reins. So.
Okay. So tell us about how you've made it through. Goodness gracious. If you just continue, like I said, a cat has so many lives, and you've just, keep turning them out.
The beauty of it, though, is that I have to be here for a reason, because there have been so many times where just a second before or after could be, a different outcome completely. And I'm just so, I'm just blessed and fortunate in everything I've done, that I've survived it. And I appreciate the fact that I grew up in a time when there was no internet.
Oh yeah. For sure.
But I do appreciate the internet now, and it's crazy because, growing up, we were the kids in the neighborhood that, it's like I went out and played until it was dark, and I'd come back and
me too.
Walk a mile from school, and
sweaty, bloody, just outside doing all kinds of stuff, getting into all kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah, it is different now, and no judgment. I'm not going to say one is better or worse. I just think that there's we look at life in a different way as we mature and evolve and grow older. But I raised my kids on 30 acres next to the national park. So, horseback, there, no television, motorcycles, mountain bikes, animals to feed, chores to complete, everything that, was necessary on a regular farm. So, horseback riding and going out and exploring was a normal part of their process. We traveled for thousands of miles and went mountain biking all over the country. So it's you just have to decide how you want to design your life. And, there's no right answer.
Well, that sounds like a fabulous life. I love that outdoor life, really connecting with nature. I love nature and the values that you learn. As a kid, I was, I had chores, and I had a lot of that kind of helped instill the values in me of hard work and, commitment. And
work ethic.
Work ethic.
Responsibility.
So, and the internet, going back to that, like now it's so easy to just be distracted. We don't have to talk about distractions, but it is. But now look at ourselves. We find making our life, making our work on the internet. So a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Woof. But the opportunities, and you have to go with it. And I think that's just got to be one of the things is you got to go with change. You got to come and go as things come into your life and as things exit your life as well. It's, you can't stay stuck.
Well, you can, and some people do. However, I decided not to.
It's not it wouldn't be good for your health. It
No.
hasn't been good for my health. I don't think there's anyone that can honestly say being stuck in some sort of past and not being able to. But I like the way, you really phrase everything about just you know, exploring and just
It's like I've told my son this, because he's kind of in the corporate world right now, and he's not really excited about it, and he doesn't know what to do next. And I said, well, start creating a list of things you don't want to do. Check off the ones you don't want to be. Check off the things that you don't want to have. And just narrow it down by process of reverse engineer it.
I guess most people do know what they don't want. They don't want it.
If it doesn't sound interesting,
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to become a marathon runner. It's not what I want.
Oh gosh,
there's a lot of things I don't want. So, yeah.
Good
Mackenzie,
stuff.
absolutely.
Spent most of my in the mountains. That's fun. Let wander the woods.
I'll tell you about a summer in the mountains. I was probably only 10 or 11, and my uncle in Wyoming, my cousin and I actually spent the summer herding sheep in the mountains. And we had a wood stove. We had to haul water from the creek. We had horsebacks, and it was the first time I made coffee, and one of those old percolator coffees.
Aww,
and we filled it up all the way to the top, and then filled it with water. Never made coffee before. We were trying to figure out. So we heated up the wood stove, and it's summertime, so it's already hot. But then we boiled water, and it was like, holy cow! How it's so strong. It's like a full, and it was so horrible. But I can't believe that my uncle actually allowed us up there by ourselves, 2 young kids, just and we had guns, and we had dogs, and there were coyotes and mountain lions around, and everything else that we could. I got thrown off horses, and having to chase down horses and all kinds.
Wow, I mean, that is some like off in the wild territory. Out there, and that's not really anything I'm familiar with. So,
but I love the fact that I had that experience, and it just brings back fond memories. So,
oh yeah, I mean, I think it's important even now, right? So when I ask you, what did you do for 4th of July? Like breaking away, getting away from the technology, having those moments of out nature, solitude, peace, family, just something where you're kind of grounding yourself in, essentially, right? Or like in those roots, those kinds of like to keep yourself maybe more centered with yourself. So for me, it was gardening. Like the last week, I've just been gardening, and I'm like, oh, I haven't really been working on the business, and I've been kind of feeling like I've been wanting to be outside. I've been wanting to be gardening, hands in the ground, growing things, like looking for little green leaves, like on my plants, right? Like nurturing them and propagating like my plants. And it might be a little hot, but it's okay. I do it indoors. It's Florida. It's like a greenhouse in here all day, a year long.
Yeah.
But I needed that, I guess, and it's healthy, right? It's not anything I should feel guilty about, but you get a sense of like, oh, I should be grinding, I should be working, I should be networking, I should be creating content. I mean, it's one of those things, and then you get I should be create content out of everything you do, even though it's something so genuine like outside gardening and just kind of letting it all go.
Yeah.
But it seeps in, like the lifestyle, the nuance of the lifestyle now. It's like, and even in reels, like just the instance of moments or stories where you're supposed to be capturing almost every moment and sharing it.
I have pushed back on that, and I've been really almost vacant online recently. And I know that, well, I can watch the numbers and they go down. However, it's one of those things that I'm actually busy, and I've been busy, and I haven't spent a lot of time. However, I'm kind of fascinated with creating reels and
Yeah.
uh,
They're fun
shorts,
for
short,
sure.
and doing some things like that because
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
I want to make some.
yeah, I want to make some.
I want to make some. I want to learn. I tried to make one at PodFest. So if you go on my Instagram, it's like me, I'm trying to learn how to make a reel and I find them fun. But like just the mentality of you trying to relax and do something where it's like away from it, but still your mind's like, I should be trying to make this content out of this.
Yeah.
A reel or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that goes
God.
back to our original point in the conversation is sometimes you just need to take a pause, relax, breathe it
Yeah.
in, get
And that's
grounded.
okay. Yeah.
Know why you're doing it, because you have to have an internal compass that says, I'm doing this to either add value. If it's just an ego trip, come on, let's get beyond that.
For me, it's self-care, right? It's self-care. It's that, like, I need to break away. It's can't watch the grind of everybody else, and I can't compare the comparison game, like all those, like. So yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome, Shannon. Thanks for stopping by. We got someone new in the chat. What's up,
Shannon? What's happening?
How are you? And Philip is here. Second chance. Hi, he says hi, DJ. So thanks for popping in. I know that you're not feeling well, so my prayers are with you, my friend. Mackenzie, I like what you said here about my grandpa taught me how to make coffee. Saw bears way too up close and wolves too. But
yeah,
you guys share that like the outdoor
connection.
I don't have that. We have bears, but I don't have experience with bears.
Yeah.
So, outdoor
bears and
no mountains here. Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Oh, no. And I always wanted like big property acreage, an acre or something or more, like some larger property, like that ranch feel, homestead feel. Like I did that. Like I really like there's so much in that. And having your own fruits and vegetables, again, going back to gardening and kind of maintaining and self-preserving and with the world, everything that's going on there. And we don't have to get to like science or anything or politics or anything like that. But I mean, everyone has their own belief systems. But I think in this conversation, we do have that similar appreciation for that. And being raised or having those family experiences and how it brings a smile or a joy or a fond memory, right?
Well, I've planted many gardens, DJ. Many gardens.
Many gardens.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just part of life. It's just I just really love Fresno nerds. Awesome.
Love it. Hi. Hello. Growers love. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's something that it's like, it's one of those personal things about you. And it's like, but you have this persona or you have this job or you have these like social titles of what you do. And, sometimes you're just like that, but that's not all of me, right? We're just so much more.
Oh yeah.
So much more. And I love when we dig and we find out all that other more. Like what else is there? What else? Because we're human and we have these experiences and we have the mayhem, but then we have the triumph, right? We have the overcoming, the hero story. I love the hero story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like Gabe says, what was he saying about talk about your
let me see.
How did he phrase that? How did he phrase that? He had a certain way of phrasing it. I forgot.
Was it in a conversation or here?
It was here in the chat.
Oh,
it was about
I keep looking.
Well, it's about my, because I was a musician. I played drums professionally for years and traveled around the countryside. And then I fell 3 stories, shattered my arm and my elbow and my wrist, and went through 2 years of rehab. Tell us about your major injury and how you also came through that as well. Yeah. And it's, I got a few of those events and but that's the one that's, most prominent. And I think, that really made a huge impact in my life in the way I look at life and say, wow, it's unfortunate. And yes, I'm broken and I'll never be the same. However, I could be different and just as valuable. and go
Yes.
through life. You know, it just changes the way we might accomplish things differently, and that's okay. I survived it, thrived it, and I love what I'm doing now, and it's
Yeah.
just, in fact, I'm still creating music, so it's like, okay, I'm still doing what I'm doing, and
So yeah, I
love
was gonna ask you about TuneFarmer
it.
because that I'm like, where did he come up with the tune and the farmer? And I think I've already started to get the answer, so this is great.
Well, I had a farm, and then we actually had it was called Summertime, THYME, Summertime Farm, and started a farmer's market, and that whole episode of having horses, having pastured poultry and pork, and collecting eggs and having the boys sell eggs and going to the fair and going to the horse shows and all this stuff. That whole life was tied to my family at that time. And then when that ended and I started Next Step Next, I thought, well, I want to go back into music and do something. So I started TuneFarmer, and I actually did dubstep shows in Houston, and I did audio capture. When I was living in Seattle, I'd do commercials for radio, and so that whole TuneFarmer, like I'm creating digitally grown grooves. And so the whole attitude of, okay, well, I'm just farming this. I'm just figuring out what I want to do next, and let's nurture it and see what comes up. And so, like last year, I refreshed it because I was like going through a creative. I want to do something different. So I got on my iPad. So I created, I think, almost 120 tracks last year on my iPad, using my iPad only. And that's what that tunefarmer.com, you go to that site, and it's all a bunch of tracks that I put up there for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Oh, I'm loving the comments too, by the way. I couldn't stop laughing.
Happy farming.
Happy farming. I love it. Yeah. They're loving I think that's cool. It's real. Do what you love and love what you do, right? So, I love to garden. I'm like, okay, I guess I could make content out of this. This is what I like to do.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's funny. Ben, he waved back when I waved. That's so funny. I'm so tense. He got me cracking up. Hey, wave back, everyone.
Wave back. I love it, Ben.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. This is great. I mean, you have the hard times, but you got to have these funny moments and have these conversations and just keep, like you said, farming them out.
You just farming them out. The darkest times in my life have always brought the brightest moments. And it's, when you least expect it and you don't know where it's going to arrive, there's always something that becomes apparent. People ask me, well, what are you going to do next? It's like, I'm just going to figure it out. Just going to figure it out. I don't know what's next.
Okay, can I take that answer? Can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I left my job, right, of 5 years, and I've been employee for 20 years, and I feel like that question's coming, like, what are you gonna do next? And I'm like, what am I gonna say when they ask me?
Yeah, figure it out.
Well,
when people really reflect on what they actually need to live, it's not necessarily what they actually wish for or hope for. Some people, it is, but some people think they need a lot more than what they actually need. And I don't know, that's the consumerism that we live in. And I'm not opposed to it. I'm not a hater or anything like that. However, for myself, I got my habits and my tweaks, and I'm a nerd, I love my gear. I love my hardware. I love, getting new gear. And, but it's like, is it necessary? Is it needed or necessary? Maybe not. But do I love it? Do I enjoy it? Do I thrive in the creative process of doing this? Yeah, I do. And so
awesome.
You just have to, whether it's growing, it's growing digitally grown grooves or organic potatoes or heirloom potatoes or roses, whatever it happens to be, whatever your gig is, just
Yeah.
enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's again, it goes back to not knowing what's going to happen next, and that uncertainty. There it is. I found the word, uncertainty.
Yeah.
So that kind of leaves you on the seat wondering, okay, but I like that. It's
and
doing the things that I love.
Yeah.
Putting a smile on other people's faces.
Absolutely. And you do it so well.
Thank you so much. But those are things that I can follow those rules. I like those.
Yeah.
Those Russ's rules of life.
Yeah, Russ's rules of life.
Any other rules you got for life?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I used to work with an Indian engineer, and he would say he would write down Russisms. He goes, I'm going to write all these Russisms, and I'm going to create a calendar with all the Russisms you tell me. Because I was encouraging, it's like,
yeah,
okay.
I like that. Yeah. Totally, for sure.
Russism. Yeah.
Russisms.
So, in fact, I created the Kindness Crew. So it's a text message that people can receive, and you can sign up for it, and I send you a thoughtful quote or some idea every day, and you can actually nice. You can get that. So if you want to sign up if you want to be on the Kindness Crew, let me know. I'll be more than happy to include you in that process. So
yeah, how do we get in on these? I love positive affirmations in the sense for me, not for me. I like that. I like those quotes. I like the inspirational words. I like the wisdom.
Okay, so all you have to do is text yes, YES, to 602-830-5555.
Okay, I think I got the right number. I'm gonna drop it here.
602-830-5555.
All right, I got it here, so let me show it. Here we go, 602-830-5555.
And just text yes to that number.
All right.
And then there's a link there that you can fill out a form, so I know who I'm talking to, and just fill it out. And
that's so cool.
I'm not selling anything there. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sell you anything. However, I will share some smiles are free and kindness is cool messages with you every day.
Whoa. All right. That's caring. That's important.
Yeah.
Every little bit you can do to help somebody else, bring a smile to somebody else's face.
Well,
so it's free.
It's free. And I send out a message every day. So, it's a simple process, and I'm happy to make that connection with you and maybe plant a seed that nurtures an idea where you can take it and help somebody else, pay it forward.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Let me say hi to, wait, Gabe, I love your comment. I'm going to bring that up. David, hi. Next. Scary. Okay. And then, what is my lane? And what is my lane? All right. Is that a question? Is that a statement? Clarify. I want to know, David. All right. Back to Gabe. I like this. But isn't there something exciting and scary about uncertainty? Of course it's exciting. And for me, that's it. Right? I got to take that fear and turn it into excitement and say, okay, I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to think on it too much. So absolutely valid point, Gabe. Thank you.
And I also want to expand on that, Gabe, because certainty is there's a certain amount of certainty that we can understand and appreciate. Somebody that's homeless, it might be certainty of finding a bridge to sleep under. Certainty of homeowner might be, I know I could pay the mortgage this month. And beyond certainty, there's no guarantee, because anything that's certain is only certain for that moment. So, and there's, there's an opportunity, and every challenge comes an opportunity. So we just have to look at the options we have and do what we can do to control what we know we can control.
Yes. So uncertainty
Is life. Yes.
Yes.
It changes moment by moment.
Wow. Powerful. That's so true. I didn't even know we were going to end up here, Russ, but it's so true. Okay. David, thank you for... Oh, hold on. Thank you for your response. Statement. That's a statement. Know my lane in 2022.
I know my lane.
All right. I love it.
Thanks, David.
Great.
Appreciate that.
All right. Gosh, we always get caught up in different conversations. We got like 15 minutes. I'm not going to hold you over. You talked a little about next step. And I asked you about TuneFarmer because, I just think that's so creative and funny. And you talked about the piratesyndicate.com. Like, that's your website. You have your new course. Your mini course is coming out.
It's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm going to launch that in the next week or so.
All right. I said, yeah. So lots of projects you've been working. Do you have a book? I've been asking a lot of people this lately.
I do actually have a book. An international bestseller, actually.
Okay. I looked. I could not. I tried to do my research on you.
It was actually, it went out. It was an Amazon book. It was an Amazon release with actually Dr. Joe Vitale, who was in The Secret. So, but it was actually Lone Star Marketing Leaders. So when I was in Houston, I used to teach a lot of classes. I taught, podcast movement. I taught workshops at the college and journalist programs about podcasting and broadcasting. And I teach weekly classes every week. And so I was included in the book, and it's out there somewhere, but I'm going to produce some more books in the future about live streaming, current state of social media and content creation, podcasting.
I think it's only due.
Yeah,
overdue.
Probably.
I mean, you're a true professional, like an expert. You've been doing this broadcasting, radio. I mean, you're saying it. You've been obviously an educator.
I've been live streaming.
I didn't know you were an author. I would have, I'm like trying to dig. Again, it goes back to those titles, like all these things we've done and all these accomplishments and stuff like that. But I've written a book too, a bestseller, by the way. Okay. But that's fantastic, and it's great. You just got it. So why should people connect with you as we start to wrap it up? And like, what are you looking for? What do you need right now?
I would love to help anyone that wants to go live and grow their audience.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Love it.
Be seen, be heard, and be talked about.
Russ will do it.
Happy to help you.
Great. I mean, and I'm passionate about live streaming. I love it. Thank you, Gabe, for being one of those people. Russ, you too. And I would like watch you every day. And it's like, I'm learning, I'm taking it in because, it is a powerful tool.
Oh, you've come a long way.
Thank you. You got to be consistent. You got to show up. You got to be willing to put yourself out there and grow in front of the camera. It's just part of it, and even that says that they don't look back on what they've done and say, oh, there's always things you could have changed and there's always room for growth. And that's what it's about. So, you just keep going. We got to keep going.
Anything we can do about growing and expanding and learning new stuff, be a lifelong learner, stay curious. That's what helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Curiosity is a good thing. That's all right. Mackenzie, thank you for sharing your story. I used to sleep in an abandoned mall years ago. It was certainty for me at one time. So appreciate that. Great conversation.
Thank you.
Fresno Nerds. I love the name though. Thank you. A new fan you have gained indeed, Russ Johns. Look at that. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. I know you've had a full life. You've shared some incredible personal moments that you've been through, experiences, things you've been through. And then, we didn't even get to talk about tech and the toys. And you did mention how much you love it. Just 1 hour just doesn't cover enough time.
Yeah.
Just never enough time.
Well, I'm going to do some behind the scenes interviews in the Pirate Syndicate for the members. And so we'll have to get you on Gabe and a few other live streamers in the conversation to share with the membership and build some community around it. Because I think it's really important for people to understand that, you know, not too long ago, and the whole idea of the pirate broadcast was that it was the fact that if you didn't have a license to broadcast, you were considered a pirate broadcaster. And now we're all pirates. If you believe that kindness is cool and smiles are free, you're a pirate in my crew. And and we can all share our voice, our message, to be seen, to be heard, and build authority. So go live, grow your audience.
All right, great. I love being a pirate, so I'm happy. I mean, you really got me out there. Our first time. What's the pirate joke I always say? What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
That's only just one of the few jokes I know. Okay, it's terrible. Fantastic. Look at that. Philip's gonna reach out to Russ. Definitely need to talk Russ because I'm trying to grow my channel. So Philip, there you go, our pirate.
Love it.
Having fun, you know.
Pirate
we wanna yeah. So, you know, we're made it to 7:30. We started a little late, but that's okay. You know, technology, jumping through hoops of, you know, microphones and checks and how we get on and where do we meet and where's the link. Got it. But, you know, we get through it. Thank you, David. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Awesome.
I know. Well, we got to make you R. Yeah, okay. I made somebody laugh. Like some free smiles. It was well worth it. Thank you so much, Russ. Is there anything else?
No, I just thank you so much for being here, DJ, and inviting me on season 4.
Yes.
So congratulations. I love the fact that you and I've watched you grow and continue to expand, and it's just epic to see the progress and the passion that you have behind it. And if anybody's you know, wants to join you and get involved in it, you know, and we still have to have a conversation because, you know, it's like I am behind schedule on my expectations, but I know that when the time is right, we'll have a conversation and we'll get you involved in some production. So
yeah, it's all good. We're here all in due time, right? As they say, no big deal. I'm just having a good time. I've got to talk to you, got to catch up with you again. I mean, you've been there since the beginning. You have watched me grow. I knew I wanted to bring you to kick off my season 4. You know, just talk about and kind of these commonalities that we have and what continues to push us and propel us in our endeavor in this journey that we share and this passion for live streaming and sharing other stories and really bringing value, like important. Like for me, it's the content, right? That it really is important, but still, you know, having that conversation and having a good time and just creating new connections and networking, like tonight, right? Like that was fun. I was laughing. I had some good laughs, and you shared some amazing words of wisdom. Some Russell, what did you call it? Russisms. You shared some great Russisms. So, you know, I couldn't be more appreciative and grateful for your time. So thank you for being a mentor from afar, right? You know, it's just one of those things.
Anytime. And always appreciate being on the show. And thank you so much for being here as well.
All right. Well, guess we'll wave goodbye and say goodnight to everyone. Thank you so much. Please connect with Russ.
Thank you so much.
Over here.
Have a great evening. Day, morning.